The CFMoto 450MT. Some riders say it's the baby version of Yamaha's T7, others say it's underpowered, overweight and boring, and others say it's potentially the world's most popular adventure bike. One thing is for sure, it's cheap. As usual, this will be a critical review. Our test bike has 5,000 kilometres. We looked at long-term owner reviews with 7,000 and 10,000 kilometres on the odometer, and we trawled the forums looking for problems and known issues. Let's start with the positives. The 21-inch front wheel is great for rougher terrain. The 18-inch rear wheel means access to a wide range of tyres. Tubeless spoked wheels, brilliant for fast puncture repairs. Bling. Despite the cheap price, you get a bashplate, handguards, folding mirrors, centre stand, adjustable rally screen, Bluetooth connectivity and rear rack. The seat is comfortable and most riders report it's okay for riding all day. KYB suspension. Unlike so many adventure bikes, it's not too soft for aggressive riders or carrying a lot of luggage. The ergonomics are good for short to medium height riders. And if you like a good exhaust note, then it's surprisingly loud for a stock exhaust setup. The cable clutch is incredibly light. All clutches should be this good. A 2-year warranty, potentially 3 years if CFMoto does your servicing. The potential negatives. The good news is it's a very short list, although we need to see much higher mileage to know more about the true long-term reliability. Heavy rain or washing the 450MT can let water collect in the lower frame. CFMoto has already responded and advised on drilling holes to allow drainage. The factory is responding very quickly to issues, so new models may have a fix for this very soon. The snatchy throttle. Dirt riders like me don't really notice this, but other riders do. Adjusting the cable slack helps. Some riders say a mapping update from the dealer worked well too. Some owners reported flameouts as well on the first models, but CFMoto appear to have updated the mapping already. Some owners find the stock suspension too harsh, but setting the rear sag and reducing the damping settings usually works well. Fuel economy, very average at best according to a lot of owners. Some owners complain about the 195 kilograms wet weight, but in reality it's about the norm for a 450 adventure bike. It's about the same weight as a Royal Enfield Himalayan or Honda NX500. The ergonomics are less suitable for taller riders. Generally, riders up to 6 feet tall or 182 centimetres will find handlebar risers and a taller seat will work well. But if you're quite a bit taller, you will just feel cramped on the 450MT. Most owners love the exhaust note, however if you prefer a very quiet exhaust, you may find it a bit loud. I must admit, I found the noise at highway speed eventually became annoying, but most riders will disagree. The stock tyres are Cheng Shin. This Chinese company mainly makes bicycle tyres. If you really don't want to trust Chinese rubber, it may be worth replacing these straight away. However, the general consensus is they work well for road riding and are okay off-road. But as it gets slippery or gnarly, you will find the limitations very quickly. Underpowered engine. Personally, I think this is an unfair criticism. The engine characteristics are very similar to every bike in its class. If you want more power, you need to buy a bigger bike. However, it would definitely be fun if there was a sports model with, say, the 44 horsepower increased closer to 60. We can dream. How does the CFMoto 450MT compare to its closest competitors? The Royal Enfield Himalayan has a very similar price and weight. Recent Himalayans have a completely new engine with a lot more power, but it still falls short of the CFMoto. The Honda NX500, or its predecessor, the CB500X, similar weight, very similar engine characteristics, but it costs about 15% more than the CFMoto and has less bling. The Honda only has a 19-inch front wheel, but of course this is great if you mainly ride on sealed roads and occasionally on easy dirt roads. KTM 390 Adventure. It's only a little bit more expensive than the CFMoto, but 20 kilograms lighter. It's a smaller engine, but in a higher state of tune and puts out similar maximum power. It only has a 19-inch front wheel, but a new model with a 21-inch front wheel is on the way. If KTM actually survives. That's another story. There are other similar models emerging, but these are the well-known ones. My personal opinion, well, I didn't like the CFMoto 450MT. The engine felt soft and doughy, it felt way too heavy, the exhaust note was annoying. I owned a Honda NX500 for 3 months and I hated it for all the same reasons. But that's just my very biased opinion. I must admit, the CFMoto will be brilliant for a lot of riders. The price is amazing. To date, everything suggests the overall quality is excellent, and the long-term reliability will probably be the same. The KYB suspension will work well for most riders with some adjustment. There's plenty of bling if that's your thing. I think the only riders who may be disappointed are very tall freaks of nature like me, or anyone expecting some serious power from the 450 twin. What about you? Ridden the 450MT? Do you own one? We are keen to hear your thoughts, and if you know of any problems, we will post these in the pinned first comment.